Hello, welcome to your academy. At your academy today, we'll deal with life and times of Philip Larkin, or it would be like about Philip Larkin, or it would be like a literary life of Philip Larkin. In this lecture, we will deal with Philip Larkin. So you can, title this lecture, this video by whatever means or whatever way you wish. It would focus up on the famous movement poet Philip Larkin. In this lecture, we'll deal slightly with the personal life of uh, Philip Larkin, and this lecture will be dominated by the literary career of Philip Larkin because this is what we believe is most important for any person to know about a writer. We must be well acquainted with the literary side of a particular person rather than knowing a lot of stuff about his personal life, which at times would be important, but most of the times is not that important. But when it comes to the literary part or literary aspect of a writer, that is more important. So that is why even in this lecture we will be focusing more upon the literary aspect of Philip Larkin's life rather than his personal life. And we'll also see that how Philip Larkin grew from a very unsuccessful poet to a very successful poet in his careers. What were the turning points of his career? Which were the publications which gave fame and popularity to Philip Larkin, and what were the times in which Philip Larkin lived. These would be some of the aspects that we would look at, and we will also deal with the characteristic features of Philip Larkin's poetry or Philip Larkin as a poet, though this particular point will not be discussed in too much of a detail. We'll come up with another lecture on Philip Larkin as a poet, wherein we will deal in detail with the characteristic features of the poetry of Philip Larkin. But here today, let's know about Philip Larkin. So Philip Larkin was born in 1922 in England. Now, whenever I deliver a lecture on the life and times of any writer, I take into consideration at the very onset his birthday or the year when he was born, and then I relate that year with the political and social circumstances of those days or of those times. This is how I begin most of my lectures about writers. So here, when I say 1922, I am reminded of 1918, and then I am reminded of 1939, and this is how I would recommend most of the students to refer to the writings or to the writer. Look at the important or significant events of his times. That is most important. Again, I say, unless you are an ardent follower of new criticism, which believes that you should not know too much of the history or personal information of a writer in order to know about them. But since we are not those ardent followers of new criticism, so we love to know about the significant events. These would be two important events in Philip Larkin's life. One was preceded 4 years before his birth, and the other was 17 years after his birth, that was Second World War. So these would be two important aspects which are going to shape up Philip Larkin as a poet, and we will deal with this in a moment. Before that, let's take a look slightly at the personal life of Philip Larkin. He was born in 1922, and his family life was very disturbed. He never liked his family. The environment in his family was not good. There was no love that he gained during his childhood. His family, in short, was not a happy family, and he himself once said about his family that I would not want it thought that I didn't like my parents. I did like them, but at the same time, they were rather awkward people and not very good at being happy, and these things rub off. So this gives us a lot of glimpse about the family life of uh, uh, Philip Larkin, and he said that a thing like love didn't exist in our family. We didn't know about affection, we didn't know about love. That was far removed from our family. So eventually, his childhood was, nightmarish for any person. His the childhood would be nightmarish, because he perhaps didn't experience good relationship between his parents, and obviously then he was not having a very good relationship with his parents, though he said that I did like them, but they were awkward kind of a people. He failed to connect with them the way a child would thought. So therefore, commenting upon his childhood, Philip Larkin said that childhood was far from a forgotten boredom. So these are the rather three important aspects that I have given you at the very onset of the life of Philip Larkin. One was the reference to World Wars, World War One and World War Two. The other was reference to his family, which was equally like a battlefield, like World War Two or World War One. So you will find that his life, personal life, is not good, or he didn't have a good start to his life. And eventually, these circumstances which he faced during his early times shaped up his attitude towards life, and particularly towards marriage. And he did not marry during his lifetime. Though he was in relationships a few times when he was employed, once with a lecturer and then again with another lady, but that relationship of his didn't mature into a marriage, because he had seen a very disturbed married life of his parents, so he had no interest in an institution like marriage. So that was slightly a reference, a passing reference to the life of our personal life of Philip Larkin. As I said, that we will be looking more into the literary life of Philip Larkin, and this much of information I believe is sufficient for you to know about Philip Larkin. Now, coming to his school days, when Philip Larkin was in school, he used to stammer. So this stammering, though, was a deformity in him, besides having a very weak eyesight, which was another deformity that Philip Larkin suffered. But the stammering, did not hamper his, excellence during his childhood. And even when he was in college, he would start writing during his days as a college boy. He was highly influenced by D.H. Lawrence. He was rather a disciple of D.H. Lawrence. He was influenced by his writing. He read D.H. Lawrence to a great extent. But another aspect of his literary life would be his friendship with Kingsley Amis. Kingsley Amis is another movement writer. He is a dramatist, particularly playwright, novelist, and Kingsley Amis and Philip Larkin had a lifelong friendship of theirs. And this friendship between Philip Larkin and Kingsley Amis helped them to grow as mature writers. And one of the reasons why these two writers, that is Kingsley Amis and Philip Larkin, were close friends was perhaps their mutual interest in jazz. I would be talking about jazz later, how it influenced the life of Philip Larkin, and how much he was influenced by this genre called jazz, and what were his opinions about jazz. We will deal with when we will take up the characteristics of Philip Larkin's poetry.